Today I was supposed to be on a plane to meet the rest of my family to help spread my grandmother's ashes. That will not be happening for me today. I felt like the eye was looking worse and worse, so I went to a different opthal and they got me in with my plastic specialist. He found that the eye is now 3 millimeters more proptotic, meaning more outside of my head than before. So essentially there's something pushing my eye outside of my skull. This has all happened over the course of a few weeks. We need to be really proactive with our treatment and with our imaging. I also got my own blood testing done, since no one would do it for me. So that is what I spent my morning doing, instead of going to California to celebrate my grandmother. Sometimes it really does feel like chronic illness just takes and takes and takes, but we can do hard things, and just because something is hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing, so we persist.
So, in the last 6 months, I've had 2 strokes. I've lost all vision in my right eye. Don't know if I'm getting it back. I found a mystery mass in my chest and some sort of tumor in my head.
Chan suffered from 2 strokes following a COVID infection.
I'd also just like to add that before this, I was totally healthy. I'm currently 22 years old. I don't know what's going on. It's a lot.
Okay, besties, this is the full medical mystery. It starts December of 2020 when I get COVID. It's a mild case. I'm perfectly healthy up until this point. In February, I get diagnosed with mono. And around the same time, I also get diagnosed with strep type A. Throughout these first months of 2021, I start feeling tingling and numbness in my hands and my forearms. I start getting really bad migraines, which I've never had before, right behind my right eye. March 29th of 2021, I have my first stroke. Complete left-sided numbness all throughout my arms, left-sided weakness, tongue goes numb in my mouth, and I pass out in the ER. I'm 21 at the time, so they just diagnosed me with anxiety and a syncopal episode and send me home. Only mentioning this so you guys know what my immune system was going through, but I get my vaccines at this time. March 31st is my first one. My symptoms persist. I even go see an eye doctor to make sure that my vision's fine, and it is at this point. I have my second stroke June 29th of 2021. This time it's complete left-sided facial droop, slurring of words, left-sided weakness. This is where they find mysterious inflammation in my cavernous, and they also find that my carotid arteries are critically stenosed. That means very, very tiny. I believe they're supposed to be 4 millimeters in diameter. Mine were 0.5. They put me on steroids to treat the inflammation, but nothing really changes, so they have to put stents in both of my carotids to make sure I don't have another stroke and blood can get to my brain. Come November, I wake up with numbness in my head and my eye starts to really, really hurt, my right eye, and they find a giant mass behind my right eye. I fly back to my hometown and I wake up on December 1st with no vision in my right eye. They put me on steroids again, but that doesn't do anything for my vision, and they also do a craniotomy to try to decompress the nerve and biopsy some of that tissue, but it comes back relatively blank. Then the current theory is that I get an infection from this craniotomy and I have to be put on IV antibiotics. They then decide to run all the blood tests you could ever ask for, a lumbar puncture, and they do another biopsy of the mass behind my eye.
The last few years have been exceptionally challenging for her.
It's been over a year since I did a full medical timeline of how I got COVID, had strokes, and then lost the vision in my right eye. So let's do a revised version right now, rapid fire. So I've done radiation, I've been to the Mayo Clinic twice, I've done biopsies. All of them show that it's just general inflammation like it was the first time, but you can't put a stent in an optic nerve. You also can't just remove an eyeball and expect all the inflammation to go away, or to expect this process to remedy itself. Spinal taps, blood tests, angiograms. At one point the inflammation got so bad that it started pressing against my facial nerves and causing trigeminal neuralgia, which is so painful. With the understanding that this is potentially some kind of autoimmune process triggered by something like COVID, I'm currently on a medication called rituximab, which shuts down part of your immune system so that it can't attack itself, and it's actually working pretty well. My eye is 3 millimeters back inside of my head, which means it's not being pushed out.
She stays so positive throughout her videos, but it's clear she's in pain.
Something frustrating about this whole thing is that I don't feel like a patient the way that I think other people see me. I'm still a person. I like adventures and art and new lingerie. I have great ideas and mini dresses I want to buy and songs I want to dance to. I still order cocktails at happy hour and stay out later than I should and kiss people I probably shouldn't. So right now I'm just trying to keep some of that fire alive. I honestly could really use the warmth.
Despite everything Chan has gone through, we're happy to see that she's currently doing well. In the comments, people were in awe of Chan's determination, with one person saying, "You're handling all this like an absolute hero. I'm absolutely stunned by your strength." While another said, "Girl, you are a walking inspiration. Thank you for sharing your journey in such a positive way. You are incredible." As always, thanks for watching Happiest. If you liked this video, then be sure to follow our Instagram and TikTok pages for more videos like this. And if you have any of your own videos you'd like to share, be sure to send them in.